Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Project Joy! Yay! I'm Kory. This series, Project Joy, is all about self-love and self-care, and today we are on episode 6, which is crazy to think about. I'm going to do this week's format the same way that I did episode 5, so today is going to be part 1 of episode 6. I'm going to be chatting through some ideas about self-care that I want to do and kind of what I've been experiencing with the self-care that I started doing last week, and then part 2 will come out later this week, and that'll be just some quick things that I actually want to start to implement and try, and some ideas on how to apply them in life, and hopefully you guys will join in. So let's get started. I'm going to be completely honest and just let you know that I feel like crap today. I don't really know what's wrong with me, but I definitely woke up. Well, first of all, I woke up really late. I normally get up at 5 a.m. on the weekdays, and then so I don't let myself sleep in a whole lot during the weekends. Usually I'll get up no later than like 8 or 8:30 just to make sure that like my body kind of stays on its regular schedule. And this morning there were crows outside my window and it was super loud, so I put in earplugs so I could go back to sleep because it was like 6:30 or 7, and I then slept through my alarm and slept until like 10:30, so I'm super sleepy. But also, I think on Friday I came home and I had 3 or 4 beers, which is a lot for me because I'm a really big lightweight. And then yesterday I had another couple of beers because we had like a family birthday celebration that we were at, and now I feel like crap. And I feel like even just like a year ago, I would not have been able to admit that because I would have felt like a grandma saying that I can't drink more than a couple of drinks in a weekend and I can't handle sleeping in for more than an hour or two. And I would have felt really uncool saying that. But honestly, I'm at a point in my life now where I'm just like ready to be real about it. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with like sleeping in or drinking a lot, but my body apparently cannot cope with those things very well, so I feel like crap. Learned my lesson. Now I know. My body is like, yo, don't do that. So next weekend I will definitely make different choices. But I'm going to power through it today. I want to talk about last week's Project Joy projects, which were to implement some body image and self-care routines in the morning to go along with the fitness routine that I'd gotten back into, just to make sure that I was taking care of myself in more ways than just following a fitness routine. So if you didn't watch that episode, I would recommend going back and checking it out. I will link it in the description down below, but that way you'll have a little bit more background into what I'm talking about here. But basically, quick synopsis, the ideas were to go easy on myself and give myself a break if there were days when I needed to take a break from fitness stuff, or if there was a day where I was craving a food that maybe wasn't my idea of being like the healthy foods that I wanted to be eating. And then also to really think about self-care while I was doing like basic beauty stuff, like putting on moisturizer or washing my face or doing a face mask or something like that. And then the third thing was to do positive affirmations in the morning, so to talk to myself about, basically like affirm to myself in the mornings that I was beautiful and that I could love myself even if I was still working towards goals that I haven't met yet when it comes to fitness. And I was pretty amazed, number one, at what a big difference those 3 small things made. And then conversely, I was also amazed at how difficult some of those things were. I would say number one is it's just difficult to create new routines and habits because you get really, especially in the mornings, I feel like before work, you get like really set into like, this is what I do every morning, and so trying to change that routine can be hard. So there were definitely some mornings where like I'd get to work and then realize that I had completely forgot to do some of those things just because I was on autopilot getting ready, right? And then also there were a lot of days where I really struggled with doing the positive affirmations piece of it because I felt really silly. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I recently had a breakthrough with that where I tried something new, which was I really like to use essential oils, And so instead of just standing in front of the mirror and doing positive affirmations in the morning, I decided to give myself a task to do with them. So I started putting an oil on my chest and using some aromatherapy at the same time that I was doing my positive affirmations, and that had a much bigger impact for me, and it also kind of broke through that barrier that I was having with having a hard time doing them, because I felt like I was doing something that I'm already used to doing as part of my self-care routine, but I just was adding the intention behind it of saying positive affirmations, and it was really helpful and really useful. And I was inspired to start doing that by my friend Megan, who posted about how she used essential oils with her toddler a few days ago and asked him to kind of talk through his ability to use his words to communicate with her at the same time that he was putting on oils, and that adding that intention behind that conversation that she had with him and putting the oils on with him really helped both him and her to communicate better. So even though obviously I'm using them in a totally different way, I was really inspired by her posts about using intention behind essential oils. So I tried it and had a lot of success. So my suggestion on Instagram, which I'm going to repeat here quickly, is just that if you want to do something like positive affirmations and you're having trouble getting through it like I was, maybe try doing some kind of aromatherapy association with it. It doesn't have to be essential oils. You can use a favorite lotion. Maybe you have like a favorite product that you put in your hair that makes you feel really pretty, and like you can say your positive affirmations while you're putting that in your hair. Like, it doesn't really matter. Just try to build it into your beauty routine or your morning routine in a different way. And I think that adding it along with something that smells good is really helpful, because then for me, like, as I go through the day and I smell the essential oils that I have on, it reminds me of the positive intention that I put behind it in the morning, and feels really nice. So yeah. So after basically just a couple weeks of doing those body positive acts in the morning, like I said, I haven't been perfect about doing them. There have been days where I've forgotten, or days where I just struggled through them, but I feel really, really good. I'm starting to feel good just physically because I've been back on a fitness routine, and I feel really good about that. And then I also just feel really good just because I feel like I've had a lot more acceptance about my body, and I've noticed that in my fitness too, where like if I have a day where I have a rough run and I don't meet the goal that maybe I wanted to meet that day, it doesn't feel as defeating anymore. It kind of just feels like, oh, okay, like my body's having a tough day, like I want to push myself tomorrow and kind of get through this, but it's not something that is going to ruin my whole day like it used to be. So I really enjoyed doing those, and it has been really fun to hear you guys and talk about your experience with this. I've had multiple people who have reached out to me either electronically or who have talked to me in person about trying some of these things, and you guys have said that you've experienced some pretty amazing shifts in how you felt with just kind of these really simple changes as well. So that was really fun for me to hear about, and thank you for sharing those with me. So with all of that happening the last couple of weeks, I've been thinking a lot about kind of what the next step was, and I think that I've become a lot more mindful of the fact that when one of the big things that happens for me when I'm working out more and when I'm following more positive practices is I feel like I have more energy, so I feel like I can get more stuff done. But the dark side of that is that I get really overwhelmed sometimes with thinking about like everything that I have to do in a week, and I start to think about like everything that I need to do at work and everything I need to do at home, and then I come up with all these projects that I want to do, and I put all this pressure on myself to get them done right away, and I just feel really overwhelmed, and I get to this point where I sit on the couch and I just am like, I don't feel like I can do anything, because I just automatically feel defeated because I know that I'm not going to accomplish everything that I have on my to-do list. And that's a habit that I really want to break, because obviously nobody can clean their whole house, do everything they need to do at work, follow a fitness routine, be supportive of their friends, be a good family member. Like, nobody can be perfect, right? Like, nobody can get everything done in a day. So I really want to be more proactive about being a little bit more organized with how I'm spending my time, and then also just being a little bit kinder to myself when I need to take time for myself, because I think it's really easy to get busy and to, like I said, to forget completely about doing self-care routines because you're in autopilot or you're caught up with doing other things. So I want to talk this week about some ideas and strategies in just being more organized with time management. So with that said, I'm going to be better about using my planner. And obviously with technology today, there's a ton of ways to stay organized on your phone or on a computer. There's lots of calendar apps and lots of to-do apps and things like that. And those are great, but sometimes I feel like, especially at the end of the day, I want to be unplugged from technology and just take a moment to kind of focus on what needs to happen in the next few days, and I don't want to be distracted by like Instagram notifications and all of that and on my phone, because it's really hard for me to get through making a to-do list or something like that. So I like having both because it's nice to have reminders on your phone and stuff like that, but I really like having a paper planner. So I was going to show you guys. I really like this planner because it has these cute, so this is the beginning of the month of August, so it has monthly goals and you can write birthdays, and it also has these cute quotes. This Stay Golden quote is so cute. And then it also has like a little journal section. Oops, sorry, the camera's turned around for me, so it has this cute journal section where you can say what you're currently reading, planning, watching, cooking, drinking, feeling, etc. So it's fun because you could kind of like track how your life is changing over the months, or even just track like what your favorite song was in August maybe, or something like that. So I really like this planner. And then the other thing that I like is it has both the month view, and then it also, this is the way the days are broken down. So like you can see, I really like that they're broken into like 3 different sections because I can divide my day into like morning, afternoon, and evening. And then it has extra notes here on the side. And then it has all of these month tabs, so it's easy to flip back and forth between months. And then in each corner it has the day of the, it has like the month view, so you can check like when an upcoming date is and stuff like that. And honestly, like I've been really good about using my planner in the past, and I did feel a lot more relaxed because I just felt like I had everything under control and in one place, and it doesn't take that long really to like sit down and spend a few minutes planning out my week. So I'm gonna try to be better about this. This planner, in case any of you are wondering, is made by Create 365. It's called the Happy Planner. I'll post a link to their website in the description down below so you guys can check them out if you want to. But also, my friend Kayla here on social media is an amazing planner reviewer. She has a blog that was really started around talking about planners, and she's reviewed almost every planner under the sun, I think, and she gives really great honest reviews on them. So I will also link her social down below. Her blog is a great place to look if you want to find the perfect planner for you, if you want a paper planner, because like I said, she has beautiful photos of all of them and she does great reviews on them. So if you want a paper planner and this one doesn't seem like it's your style, but you want to find a different one, definitely check her out. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys again for sharing your stories with me. It's been really awesome connecting with you on this journey of self-love and body positivity, and I'm really excited to see where it goes next. So make sure to tune in later this week for part 2 of this episode, and I'll talk about some techniques and new habits to try in the coming week when it comes to organization as a form of self-care.